Hi everyone, it's time for tutorial how to make embroidery hoop decoration. It's very easy decoration, however it's very effective and it's fun to make. I have few examples here of decorations that I made recently, and I will show you on the example on the small one just so it's easier for you to see. So the big hoops are 6-inch hoops, the small ones are 3-inch hoops. Things that are mandatory: it's embroidery hoop, scissors, piece of paper or carton, you can even use the back of the cardboard box if you want, and a bit of fabric. You can use various remnants or scraps, and we might need a ribbon to tie our decoration. Things that will make life easier will be glue gun with glue stick, of course, ribbon with a message, for example, Merry Christmas. I got those ribbons in choices this winter, but I seen them in deals. I seen them even in Aldi. Embroidery thread or metallic thread, whichever one you prefer. It's optional, it's not mandatory. Now, some decorations. I have here some felt decoration we got with Alice. I think that was in deals a few years ago. We still haven't used them, so they might come in handy. Or if you have wooden decorations, they might look nice as well. And sorry, a little bit of bubble pom-pom trim. I don't know how to call it properly, but it's like a mini pom-pom trim. The big one might not be the bestest option, but the small one should work fine. You can also use lace, whichever one come in handy. First thing we need is the outline of the hoop, of the inside of the hoop. So embroidery hoop is made out of two parts, outer layer and the inner circle. So I will just trace the inner circle here, and it will be handy when we are finishing our decoration. It's all traced now. I will cut it out. Remember, don't use your fabric scissors for that. I have my circle cut out. I will put it aside until we will need it at the end of making the decoration. Now we need to decide what fabric to use. I will show you here example. I used two different fabrics and I put ribbon between them. As you see here, I stitched them together in two places, and then I just placed the ribbon on top, making sure it covers the stitching side. You can probably see it underneath a little bit, but it's a nice way of hiding the stitching line. I also did a little bit of embroidery on this Christmas tree. It's not mandatory, it's just something I was in the mood for making. In this example, I just used one single piece of fabric and I embroidered some words with just a silver embroidery thread. It's time to pick the decoration, so I think I want to use this piece of polycotton. Sorry, the sounds you're hearing in the background is my cat Ripper. So I think I want to include one Christmas, like one snowflake inside my decoration. So I know I will need to cut around. So what I will do, because it's polycotton, you can actually relatively quickly see through. I will see where it goes, and I will mark with friction pen where I need to cut. You might wonder how I determine how big circle I want, and I will tell you what I do. I usually measure, so it's 3 inches. Then I measure how much width is here, so it's almost half of the inch. So that means I need a little bit wider than the 3.5 inch. So I think I will go for 4 inches. just to be on the safe side and have enough fabric. So I center what I need. So if we have 4 inches, we need 2 will be middle, so I will need to cut fabric on both sides around that. Okay, so you can either do it as a circle or you can cut the square. Actually, square might be easier for us to deal with, so I will mark the square and I will show you when I'm done. I have my square marked. I will cut it out. So I have my circle, I have my piece of fabric, so I know I want this in the middle. I have the top of the hoop, and I'm just gonna see. Oh, I need to loosen the hoop. I think actually I'm gonna pull this a little bit lower so the snowflake won't be in the middle, and I will add little Merry Christmas on the top. Okay, I have my fabric, I have my ribbon. I think I will move the snowflake a little bit closer to the end and put my Merry Christmas just above snowflake. Now gently I will put this over it, just making sure it fits. You see it's a bit loose, don't worry, we'll get it sorted. I like to make sure that I have enough of ribbon on both sides that I can move it freely. And now we need to start tightening the screw a bit, and with that we will need to tighten the fabric as well. So pull on all sides evenly, just to make sure it keeps in the same place as we want it to be. Okay. Sometimes it's a bit fiddly, especially when you are trying to show what you are doing. So don't tighten your screws too much. As you see, not everything comes perfect, and I need to reposition my ribbon. But don't tighten your screws too much because you might break the hoop. I actually did broke one of the hoops during my whole preparation, so I know it can happen. Okay, now we need some hot glue. When using hot glue, always protect the surface you are working on. I use just a cardboard, it works fine, and my glue gun is very old. It doesn't stay down no matter what I do, so I just keep it on the cardboard and I have it on as little as possible. While my glue gun is warming up, I will tell you the other way you can do it without using glue gun. You can grab a hand sewing needle and the thread and just stitch everything around so it's covered like that. But I do prefer using a glue gun over the effectiveness and just the speed of the whole process. I normally don't use gloves or anything else protecting my fingers when I'm working with the hot glue, but for safety and just to make people less worry about me, I got myself those silicone thingies for fingers. I don't think that they will fit, but we'll see. They're very weird things. Ugh. Very weird feeling on my fingers. Anyway, I'm gonna check if the glue is getting warm. I need a new glue stick. Yeah, it's getting warm. So what I will do now, I will put tiny dot of glue under the ribbon here, just a tiny bit, and let it stick. Pull in both places and let it stick. Okay, now we know this is as tight as it should be. So what we can do, I will lower you a little bit, we can trim the excess fabric, and that's what I normally do. I will just trim the excess fabric and excess ribbon. And for anyone worrying, I'm using the offcuts for stuffing pillows and other stuff, so it's not that I'm wasting things, they will be used up. So what I do then, oops, my glue stick doesn't want to stay in, so I will put a tiny bit of glue here, just on the rim of the embroidery hoop, the inner part, and I will push the fabric inside. Now I need to take those off, sorry, they are cutting the circulation off to my fingers. I will put gently a little bit of glue, just gently, on the inside, so ribbon separately, and here, and all the way around. I will show you when I'm done. Be careful, don't burn yourself when you are using the hot glue gun. I wouldn't recommend for kids to use it because it might be dangerous. If there are any remnants of just glue, just remove them. Sometimes glue likes to stick, so that's the main body of our decoration. So there are a few things we can do now. We could do a little bit of embroidery, or we could leave it as it is, and I think I will leave it as it is just for the speed. Now you can add ribbon here on the wooden part, but I think for this one I want to go with a lace. I have here some ribbon, it's actually lace, cotton lace, and what I will do is I will secure first the back, because you know the back doesn't look pretty. So basically what we will do, we will glue the back for the decoration. And you know, if you have old Christmas cards, you could use old Christmas cards for the back, you know, the decorating part, it will look pretty as well. What I do, I put a bit of glue on the inside, on the rim part, just a bit, not too much, piece by piece, just to make sure it sticks, and then I go all around, and I will show you in a minute when I'm done. It's done. I'm pressing here to make sure it's glued everywhere on the parts that I did earlier, and I know that glue is relatively cool to touch. I will just gather the little bit overflow that's coming on the top. I know not everyone is okay with it, that's fine, you can leave it as it is, as it will be covered. So now we will use this lace to do kind of like a cover part here. Okay, so I'm gonna cut the bit on the front because it looks a little bit ragged, and I will start putting glue here. Okay, for that I actually might need to use this because it is hot, and unfortunately lace has holes, so just try to keep it rounded. Okay, I have decoration finished. I glued the ribbon, the lace ribbon, all around. Because it's cotton ribbon, it was slightly, it's not elastic, but it does have tiny bit of give, therefore it was easy enough to round it around the edges, and the edges looks like, you know, they have a little bit of texture to them. So now I will add the ribbon for the hoop, and we will be done. I have my decoration done. I have some ribbon, and we can put the ribbon here through the finish. Hope you can see. Sorry for my nails. I'm a housewife. I cook a lot. I clean a lot. So my nails don't survive anything. So I very rarely put any nail polish on my nails, and I do not like my nails after gel or shellac because they do get damaged. So that's the first decoration, and I will show you how to add the pom-pom trim. We have here the other decoration that I started a few days ago. We will finish the edges with the hot glue, and then I will show you how to add ribbon on the sides and how to add the trim for the back. I have my back glued to this decoration, so it's the one with two different fabrics, bit of embroidery and the ribbon, and I will do ribbon now on the side. It's very important, if you decide to use pom-pom finish for the edges, for the back edges, and you want to do ribbon on the sides, to do ribbon first, because it's just easier to glue without pom-poms basically coming between you and the glue. So I have my ribbon, and I start just at the beginning, just at the metal part, and just tiny bit, just push it in and gently, and all the way, a small amount of glue. As you see, I'm not putting a lot of glue, I'm just putting small amount. This ribbon is almost the same width as the embroidery hoop, so I'm trying to have it centered if possible. But if it's not perfect, it's fine. We are not computers. We can't do things super perfectly or super accurately all the time. And if we would, that would be very boring and there wouldn't be any chances for a bit of creativity. So now, next part. It's very therapeutic experience gluing stuff. I know it sounds weird. So when I get to start part like that, I don't glue first. I just mark roughly where I need to cut for the ribbon to go close. So what I do, I kind of like push the ribbon like that. Now what I did with my scissors, oh, here, and I put my scissors in, and I will cut just below the bent part, so it's easier for me to push it here. Okay, and for the last part, when I'm doing it, I actually like to use something to help me out. Yeah, and that's why we need to be careful, because I just slightly burn myself. It's just tiny burn, but it hurts. So see, it's all done. Now what we need to do is to get some pom-pom trim. So I think I will go with white because it will look nice. I wish I had green, but I don't, so I will just go with white. And what we do, we glue pom-pom trim starting at the opposite side of where we want to go here, so it will look nice. And we put tiny bit all the way. Don't stretch, just gently push like that against the edges of the cardboard. It's all done. See, it looks lovely. The edge added. I think I will add a tiny bit more glue here, just to make sure that my ribbon stays flat at the front. And I'm considering adding a bow or something like that on the top. Leave it with me, I will show you when I'm done. In our felt decorations, I found a little bit like a decoration that looks like holly, and I think I will use this on top of here. But first I will take a bit of ribbon and thread through the front of the hoop so we can hang our decoration. If I will put this first, the holly, it would be very hard for me to actually thread the ribbon, and I know because once I did something like that. So I won't be taking the sticker glue part off. I will just put a dollop of the hot glue on the top here, and I think it looks cute. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you will have fun making the embroidery hoop decorations. Remember, they are not only for Christmas. You can make them for any occasion in any size you want. I hope you will have fun making them. Bye!